Ikuturso is a sea monster in Finnish mythology, mostly known from epic poetry called Kalevala. The creature has a lot of names, for example, Turso, Tursas, Ikuturilas, Meritursas, and Partalainen. The prefix Iku means eternal and is likely to refer to the everlasting being which has existed since the birth of the world. The word Tursas is likely borrowed from the Proto-Germanic word Turisas, meaning monster or giant, which refers to the great sea monster. In Kalevala, the sea monster has been called up by Louhi to sink the Väinämöinen's ship and steal Sampo, the magical artifact that brought riches and good fortune to its holder. The appearance of the monster has been described as multi-headed or frog-like creature. Some describe how it has a long wet beard. However, Väinämöinen grabs Ikuturso by his ears and commands the monster back to the depths. Since then, the monster has not raised its head from the depths. In the poems of the Kalevala, Louhi reveals and points her genitalia to the north, and she becomes pregnant from the wind or the turmoil of the sea caused by Ikuturso. Louhi thus gives birth to sons. In some poems there are 3 boys, disabled, crippled and blind, while in other poems there are 9 sons, and they all reflect different plagues and pains. It is possible that the mythology of Ikuturso is based on a real creature that has sometimes inhabited the Finnish waters, i.e. whale's catfish. Catfish is a huge predatory fish that can grow up to few meters in length and weigh tens of kilos. The fish have become extinct in Finland, and the last catfishes caught inside Finland's borders were from the 1860s. However, the distribution of the fish was not widespread, but it was fished from the waters of Kanta-Häme, Pirkanmaa and Päijät-Häme. The catfish in Finnish is monni, and it has a lot of nicknames like säkkala, säkiä, säkäkala and janakala. It is believed that municipality called Janakkala got the name from the fish. An old story circulates around Finland about giant catfish that lived in Näsijärvi and ate people. Occasionally, fishermen would drown to the lake in weird circumstances. On an island called Vähä-Vesassalo lived a man named Laase who had paid attention to this and thus decided to find out if there was a monster that lived in the lake and ate unfortunate fishermen. He went to his workshop, forged a huge hook, used a hemp rope as a line and took a sheep carcass as a bait. He and 2 rowers went to the lake and drew the bait in. Soon the creature grabs onto the hook and line and rose to the surface. After noticing the men, it started to chase them. The men made it back to the island and pulled the creature to land and killed it with an axe. 2 skeletons were found in the beast's stomach. The whale's catfish is associated with magical beliefs, and the fish is associated with the devil himself. The saying, "Nyt on piru merrassa," is probably applied to the catfish caught in the trap called merta. Merta is a fish trap, which is used to catch both fish and crabs. Catfish does not only eat people, but it is also able to rise from the water to the land and stare at people so menacingly that they petrify in place. Catfish can make a humming or buzzing sound, and whoever hears it goes crazy. There was a belief for catching a big fish. Huge fish were called marraskala, which refers to death based on its name. Marras means dying person or deceased. The word probably is quoted from the words mori, Latin for to die, or mors, Latin for death. November in Finnish is called marraskuu because when night frost strikes in November, it kills most of the herbaceous plants. It was believed that the fisherman who fished this large fish would face death, either him or his loved ones. Often, fishermen have thrown the catfish back into the water to avoid the fate of death. The beard of catfish is described to be long, and often, when talking about Ikuturso, it is mentioned that the creature has a long, wet beard. The appearance of Ikuturso in the Kalevala foretells the extinction of the rest of the fish population. After Väinämöinen grabbed Tursas by its ears, the monster promises to return to the depths and not hurt anyone or anything. According to the internet sources, the first mentions of the name Ikuturso are from the 16th century. The father of Finnish language, Mikael Agrikola, wrote how Turisas was the god of war. The god of war shot disease-filled bows at the enemy and thus led the others to victory. This refers somewhat to the poem where Louhi gives birth to boys who all were plagues and diseases. In Karelian Isthmus resides a mountain called Tyrjän. It is believed the Turisas lived there. Locals believe that the god is haunting the area by beating the drum from the sky before the war breaks out. The name Tursas is probably borrowed from Thor, the Viking god from the Norse mythology. Tursan sydän or Mursun sydän is a symbol used in Finland during pre-Christian era. It is believed to protect against curses and bring luck. Usually such signs are decorated on wooden objects, such as on the bottom of a dish or at the handle of a tool. Here too, a small reference could be sought between diseases, protection, and Ikuturso.